time for a news rant, I think. So just real quick, some news about Green Lantern. Now obviously DC Cinematic Universe is trying to revamp some of their characters, bring out new characters, bring out a Justice League movie, try and make it quite gritty and more serious than it has been in the past. But as for the Green Lantern, apparently we won't see him or a new version of him until at least probably Justice League 2, which is 2019. And that's quite a long time away in my opinion, especially if they want a Justice League movie with a good amount of characters in it. Maybe they want to leave enough time possible between the original one with Ryan in it and this new version of him, so hopefully by then people have kind of forgotten about it. To be honest, I think that movie wasn't as bad as people make out. No, it was. It was quite bad. I think they kind of realised that they shouldn't make a movie aimed at 4-year-olds and assume that because it's comic books that little kiddies are only people that like that type of stuff. It's just not true, and it's pretty much socially acceptable now that it's not the case. Adults can like it, it's not a problem. So they need to do a grittier version of what they're doing. With Man of Steel, that was serious and that was good, and we'll see what Batman v Superman's like obviously, and it looks like it's going to be more of the same, that type of stuff going on, with it quite serious like I say. So a Green Lantern like that, or as close to that as possible, might be the way forward. And then moving over to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it seems to happen basically every single news rant I seem to be talking about Marvel, but there you go, it's just the way it is. They've released some pictures from behind the scenes basically of Captain America Civil War. Now with one of the TV spots we've already seen some of the characters lined up. This photo which is appearing, you can see the other team as well. And basically Civil War is pro and anti registration of superhumans, or superpowered beings basically, needing to be registered and under the government's sort of control, if that makes sense. Now in the comics, in Earth 616, this happened because some bomb type dude blew up, I think it's called Nitro, he blew up and killed a load of people, including loads and loads of kids. And then they were kind of like, we need to get these superheroes registered. If they've got powers like this, we need to decide who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, know their identities, know their weaknesses, just basically have better tabs on them. And some of the superheroes were for this and some were against. Captain America, rather surprisingly, was completely against it. Now obviously before he was in the army, he's pledged his allegiance to the United States and all that kind of stuff, so you'd kind of think he would be for the government having more of a role and them being registered, but he realised it's quite a bad idea really. And then Iron Man, for example, was really for it, and this is why in this movie, the Earth 199999 version, they've got Iron Man versus Cap. The only problem with that is it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the Civil War in the Earth 616 because there were so many characters on either side. Some not really involved in it too much, but lots of battles and lots of interesting conversations and that kind of stuff going on. But anyway, getting back to just what sides we've seen for this movie, I did a little list and researched online, and I think I'm correct. Some of them I knew anyway, but some I had to sort of look into a bit more. So for the anti-registration, we can see that they've got Captain America, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Ant-Man and Falcon. Now these aren't all correct compared to the Earth 616. I know it's a different universe, but it's just, you compare things, don't you? So Scarlet Witch I wasn't 100% sure of, but I think that's correct. The rest are correct, except Falcon wasn't anti-reg. Apparently he was pro-registration, which does seem a bit strange. But apparently he was pro-registration. And Hawkeye I think is correct, but I believe he was Ronin, which is another character he takes on later on, when he was part of that team. But obviously for continuity with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's still Hawkeye. And then with the team we can see for the pro-registration, we've got Iron Man, Vision, War Machine, Black Panther and Black Widow. And again, they don't seem to all be correct either. And this is why I started looking into it, because I saw Vision was was pro, and I was surprised about that. I didn't think he would be. I was like, I'm sure Vision wouldn't be pro-registration. You know, he's all about life and like making the best choices. I don't see why he would think that having them registered would be a clever decision, really. So that's why I looked into it, and indeed, from what I found online on Marvel Wikia, or whatever it's called, Vision was anti-reg, so he's on the wrong side in this universe. And also, Black Panther was anti, so he shouldn't be on the side of Tony Stark either. But this brings me on to my next point, and where I'm going to rant a little bit more, is where's Spider-Man? Spidey, where are you? Now, we've heard that he should be in the movie. We've not seen any pictures of him, really, any promo, anything like that. We know who the actor is, but that's about it. But the thing is, in the Civil War arc, he played quite a big part, because originally he was kind of against the registration. He was a little bit worried what it would mean for the people he loved, his Aunt May, Mary Jane, that kind of thing, because if his identity was out, you know, the Kingpin's going to be like, right, go and kill them. People he likes, kill them, you know, and all his enemies would do that, and he realises why that's quite dangerous for them. But then eventually he does change his mind. He goes on TV, he takes off his mask, and he's like, I'm Peter Parker and I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 or something like that. So then he's with Iron Man, but then he discovers later on that the Iron Spider suit that Iron Man made for him is kind of keeping tabs on him. It's looking at all the stuff he's looking at, it's recording everything he talks about, thinks about, and loads of things like that, and he notices there's like a fail-safe method to try and kill Spider-Man if he goes rogue or something like that. And Spider-Man's like, why is he keeping tabs on me like this? I'm for it, I'm on his side. What's this about? You know, he doesn't have to keep tabs on me, I'm a hero. And quite rightly so. You know, Spider-Man doesn't really go evil. I mean, obviously he's been the Man Spider a few times, and like the symbiote Spider, yeah, so quite a few times actually. But you get what point I'm trying to say. So then eventually he finds this this big sort of prison where they're keeping superheroes or supervillains or both locked up against their will, and they're not being, you know, catalogued due process. They're just being treated like they're scum, and he doesn't really like it, and so he goes back to being anti-reg and on the side of like Nick Fury and Captain America and all that lot. So because of his conflicting back and forth, and you know, realising why it's bad and seeing why it's bad, like I say, he's quite a big part of the arc, so it's just a bit strange we've not seen more about him, and it's just a bit of a shame that it seems to be like 5v5, and it's like, it's more like a little tiff between the Avengers, rather than all these superheroes, you know, against each other. So it's nowhere near as good as it could be. Nowhere near. Yeah, I'm still looking forward to it, I'll still see it, like I say. I'm not looking forward to it as much as, say, Doctor Strange or Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I'm sure it will still be a good movie. And then there's going to be a new Sherlock game out in spring, which I guess is technically now, so sometime soon. I did a playthrough of it somewhere, there'll be a playlist link or something like that if you want to check it out, but I expect I'll play the new one. There's a little trailer for it, so I thought we'd take a look at it together. So this is the trailer for Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. Here we go. Play! Blood, mild language, use of alcohol and tobacco and violence. Ooh, sounds good. Big Ben, eh? Seems a bit dark, doesn't it? Huh. What? That was horrible. Ugh, that's a scary doll. What?
Caitlin!
What's going on?
Hey!
think he's losing his mind.
Caitlin!
Huh. Go for it, son.
Caitlin!
Uh-oh.
No!
What was that about? Oh, May 27th.
PS4 for the players.
Oh, well there it says for PS4 it's coming out May 27th, so presumably that's when it's coming out. I didn't understand what the hell was going on there, that was really weird. It does say it's called a Mystic Trip, so obviously that was some kind of strange delusional nightmare or something going on, I don't know. I've not read about what it's about. I don't even know if that's one of the books. Is it one of the books? I think it's probably just a brand new set of stories, as it usually is. But yeah, it's going to be 5 cases, so a lot to play through probably, but looks quite strange. I don't really see what the gameplay's like from that, but it won't be that far different from the previous ones. You know, a bit pointy clicky going on, lots of sort of talking to people, investigating things, looking for clues. Sounds boring on paper, but it's really not. It's good. It says here that Sherlock Holmes' ruthless logic is overwhelmed by family stories, irresistible emotions, and an occult revenge. So a bit different from usual. As we know, Sherlock Holmes is basically a psychopath. Not in a bad way, just is. So it'd be interesting to see maybe some of his emotions played on, and you know, believing in things that aren't really there, when usually he's of course, you know, very stoic, stubborn, and skeptical of everything basically. So anyway, I think that about do it for now. Oh, and just one last thing. I know I keep going on about it, but House of Cards Season 4 is out today. You can watch all 13 episodes in a row. I know I'm going to be watching most of the weekend. If you've not started watching it yet, and you've got Netflix, go and do it. I think you'll be gripped. I think you'll like it, honestly. Anyway guys, click like if you like that. Click subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you on the next video. And until then, don't have a daughter with the devil. Okay, bye. Guys, if you're still here, you're awesome. But as you are still here, why not check out some of my other videos? Oh, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Laters, haters.